The fashion in which he just defeated Thurman.
The towering Inferno is still the towering Inferno. He's a problem. He's 6'6", 154. He's a problem for anybody.
Mike, what do you think?
Like I said, it's hard for anybody to come back after 3 years and try to come back and fight top guy in the division. And Fundora went out and done what he's supposed to do. I mean, Thurman done what he could do, but this wasn't enough. And, he was just too elusive and too busy for him.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Well, talk about what happened with Keith tonight.
Man, I'm heartbroken for my man, but we knew it was gonna be an uphill battle. Hey, Fundora beast, bro. Beast.
So you put that on top of it? He 36, 37 years old. Injuries and everything that he done went through. With, his body breaking down on him. All these postpone fights and due to injury or, his opponent getting injured and stuff, man, like, Keith's career, man, the end of his career has been a travesty.
Boxing World reacted to the Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora fight with Caleb Plant stating that Fundora is at the top of his game, having done an incredible job with great coaching and a perfect game plan.
Stopping Keith.
Yeah, Fundora did great tonight. He had a great game plan. He implemented it. He got great coaching. He's got, a great chin, great gas tank. And he's just a great fighter, man.
Was there anything that surprised you about the fight, or you felt like he could have done a little bit better?
Man, I think, okay. Yeah, I think, it's just, it's a hard puzzle to solve.
Right?
Yeah.
In terms of 154, do you, based on how he fought, do you see Fundora being the best at 154?
Yeah, right now I think he's got the most momentum. He's got a lot of confidence, and right now I think he's on top of his game.
Is there anyone you see being able to handle that size, that length, the pressure?
I mean, I would never. I'm not going to say there's nobody out there that can't get it done, but right now, as far as the eye test.
Rolando Romero says Fundora is too tall for his weight class, calling it unfair and suggesting some hidden trickery in boxing that people avoid talking about publicly.
The best version you've seen in...
Man, that dude need to be 86 for the division. He way too tall. I'm sorry, they need to calibrate them scales. I don't know how he making them weight classes. It is not fair.
Chico.
It is not fair.
So he beats Virgil Ortiz?
It is, forget about, it is not fair for him to be in that weight class.
Would you pick him against the 154s though? Is that what you're saying? Like,
it is not fair for him to be in that weight class. They need to calibrate them scales. We don't know how he makes that weight, all stuff. There is some kind of trickery going on in boxing that nobody wants to talk about.
What do you think about the sustained beatings that he passes out? When he fights, it's the way he gets on top of people and just destroys them.
Man, he over there trying to chop.
Ryan Garcia shares his reaction on X after the fight, stating, called it Fundora-style nightmare for Thurman. Congrats. Way to go, Fundora. Praising Fundora's dominance and prediction confidence. Timothy Bradley says Keith is no longer one-time Thurman. Adds his career is finished and notes he did not look sharp or impressive in this fight performance.
Watching Fundora, watching Keith, I'm looking at their resumes and I'm just like, man, if Keith pull this off, man, this fight right here might put his ass in the Hall of Fame. If he win this fight, man, this might put him in the Hall of Fame, man. He got some good names on his resume, like, Guerrero, and Sean Porter, and, a few others. He got some good names on his resume. But this right here, how long he really been out of the ring, like, in the last 3 years, he's only been 3 rounds, people. He's only been he's only been 3 rounds. The last 3 years, he's only been 3 rounds. Yeah, he gonna have to kill Fundora. Fundora is he like a damn rooster. He just keep plucking and plucking and plucking. If you don't take his life, kill him, he ain't got no breath in his body, you can't beat him. I promise y'all that, man. That dude will throw and throw and throw and throw and throw and keep throwing, even shots and keep throwing. Anyways, man, I'm praying for you, Keith. Man, for real. I think I'm bullshitting. I'm praying for Keith, man. I'm praying for him. I'm praying for Regis Prograis. Ooh, I'm praying for
Roy Jones Jr. reacts to the fight, praising Fundora as the towering inferno, calling him incredible and noting how effectively he uses his unique approach to dominate in the ring.
I don't know what he could do, but this wasn't enough. And, he was just too elusive and too busy for him. He wanted to fight. The referee done the right thing. Just stop the fight. There's no need taking on unnecessary punishment. He's a good fighter. And
Excessive punishment for no reason.
For no reason whatsoever.
What do you think happens next for Keith? Is it time to hang him up or to maybe look for a different division? Where do you think he goes from here, Roy?
Well, for me, it's hard to come back at a fighter like that. When you come back fight, you fight to the top guy in the division. It's hard to do that, bro. So he's going to do other things, but it's hard.
Teddy Atlas praises Fundora, saying he uses his height and fighting style perfectly, performing at his best, and is currently in the prime of his boxing career.
Confidence he's got right now, using his height, the way that he's using it, a lot better. His length and his height, not just his height. He's not, it's not out of question that he could beat anybody. It's not out of question he could beat anyone. Boots is a real good, solid fighter, and he's undefeated. He hasn't learned how to lose. That's a big, big plus, that he has not learned how to lose. And he was a real good amateur. He's a very solid fighter, Boots. Again, he's a very dimensional fighter. He can fight inside, he can box, he can pressure you, he can punch. He's a good body puncher.
Antonio Tarver expresses heartbreak for Keith Thurman while also calling Fundora a beast, warning that he will be a serious problem for any opponent he faces.
Not right now, but Fundora's gonna be a tough out for anybody, bro. He's learning how to use his reach and height a lot better, so he's gonna be a tough puzzle to solve.
Keith Thurman expresses disappointment with the fight outcome, stating the referee didn't do him justice and believes he could have continued if the stoppage hadn't occurred, calling the situation unfortunate and frustrating.
A mistake, and he was just getting way too comfortable. He had a hard press, and we were right on the verge of getting to that sweet spot where both of us were ready to go toe-to-toe, blow for blow, and the ref couldn't handle the violence and, what I was taking. A lot was on the gloves. Some of this on this side was me catching, I remember a fight that I had where on the side of my head looked like a monster symbol, right? And I was like, how the heck did that happen? And it came from the inseam of my own fist. You got 1, 2, 3. The inseam of my own fist hitting my own head, that's where my bruising came from. So we get bruised up just from blocking shots as much as we get bruised up from taking shots. So it's just unfortunate, man. I really think I could hear the crowd. The fight was really just getting good. I was on my feet, never got dropped. And
Atlas comments on the referee's quick stoppage, acknowledging Fundora's heart while noting many viewers disagreed with the decision, explaining the referee acted cautiously given Thurman's condition, though he understands both perspectives.
Absolutely, but the referee, a lot of viewers not too thrilled with referee Taylor tonight in that quick stoppage.
I agree. Listen, I can't argue with them, but I don't like to be on the fence. I'm not known to sitting on the fence, but I can understand and don't disagree with them, but at the same time, you could see that the referee kind of knew he'd be safe stopping this because, like, how you gonna really go nuts on him when the guy's busted up, when it was a shutout, and it didn't look like it was gonna change.
Richard Torres reacts to Sebastian Fundora's performance. He highlights Fundora's incredible reach, height advantage, and relentless pressure, noting that every opponent, including Keith Thurman, struggles against his unique style. He praises Fundora's resilience, ability to take punches, and constant aggression, saying it's rare to see a 6 feet 6 inches fighter at 154 pounds dominate so effectively. He emphasizes how this combination of size and skill changes the boxing landscape, making Fundora a dangerous game-changing force and expressing excitement to see what's next for him.
Sebastian Fundora put on one of those Fundora-esque, Inferno-esque performances again tonight, man. Tell us what you saw.
What are you supposed to do against that guy, man? You know, he's a guy that wants to come at you, wants to stay active, but has this reach that's insane. He can hit you from across the ring, and every guy's gonna be significantly shorter than him. That's a fight, man. Like, anytime he gets in the ring, you know the other person's gonna have a difficult job because he's never fought someone like him. You know, he's a different guy. You know, I used to not like watching film on some of my guys because like they never fight me how they fight other people. I think that's how Fundora must feel all the time. He's never gonna get a fighter that can fight his natural style or the style that he wants somebody against him. He's 6'6" and 150 pounds. It's insane.
I mean, and it's crazy, man, even when you land punches on him, this is a dude who truly seems like he takes it personal. Not like he gets mad, but if you hit him hard, he hits you 6 or 7 times. Yeah. He is as nasty as they come.
And he took the shot like a champ too. He took like 3 or 4 of Keith Thurman shots, and he ate them, man, and kept coming back. That was incredible. It was a really great showing from him, and I'm just excited to see what's next for him. I'm a fan, you know. And it's weird because like you see it on TV, but you don't get like the awe until you're in person of like that size discrepancy with. I don't know when I've seen it like that again, you know? Like 6'6" versus what was he, 5'8", 5'6"? It was almost a foot of just height and then the length and everything. That guy's dangerous, man.
Right, I mean, and for Keith Thurman, we haven't seen Keith Thurman get bludgeoned like that. We haven't seen him get beaten like that. I mean, he seemed to have been angry in the corner after the stoppage, but even then, man, I mean, still, this was absolute, we've never seen Keith get stopped. Let's start there.
Blue Blood Sports TV host reacted strongly to the fight between Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman, noting that Thurman, who once held both the WBC and WBA titles, faced a brutal beating. Fundora, now 24-1-1 with 16 knockouts, dominated every round and stopped Thurman in the 6th. The host emphasized how Fundora has improved leaps and bounds since his loss to Brian Mendoza, mastering distance, pace, and range control. He landed powerful uppercuts from 2 feet away and kept Thurman constantly on the back foot. Despite Thurman's intelligence and past victories over Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, and Manny Pacquiao, he could not match Fundora's skill, reach, and aggression. The host declared Thurman should consider retirement after this punishment, praising Fundora's evolution and warning that his combination of height, technique, and power makes him a dangerous challenge for anyone in the division, including top contenders like Virgil Ortiz.
One-time Thurman, who at one point in time held the WBC and the WBA title. They fought tonight. Sebastian Fundora is now 24 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 16 wins by way of knockout. And he absolutely beat the stuffings out of Keith Thurman, who is now 31 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 23 wins by way of knockout. And he stopped Keith Thurman in the 6th round. Sebastian Fundora just retired Keith Thurman, people. I don't want to see Keith Thurman come back after what I just witnessed. Keith Thurman just took a brutal beating. Literally. He took a brutal beating. Sebastian Fundora has gotten leaps and bounds better than when he got knocked out by Brian Mendoza. Right? It's typical of people to harvest a flaw that they saw and not pay attention to the progress. And everybody harvests on the fact that he got caught with this right hook. He got caught by Lubin by it, he got dropped, and he got knocked out by Fundora by it. By Brian Mendoza. He has made the adjustment to that now. He has literally made the adjustment to that. He fights tall. He's very active with his jab. He controls the range.
Sebastian Fundora executed an outstanding game plan, constantly using his long jab to control distance and dictate the rhythm of the fight. Keith Thurman struggled to close the gap and cut off the ring, while Fundora moved with ease, staying in command and minimizing any complications. After the fight, when asked about his performance, Fundora admitted he hadn't expected it to be so straightforward. Observers are now questioning Thurman's future in boxing, with many suggesting he may now serve as the division's gatekeeper. Nevertheless, the fight highlighted just how difficult Fundora is to face. His combination of reach, timing, and ring intelligence makes him a dangerous opponent for anyone, proving he is a rising force at 154 pounds.
And Fundora had a great game plan by just extending a long jab, keeping the distance the whole time, and really at the end of the day, Keith Thurman had a hard time really cutting the distance, excuse me. Fundora had an easy time, really cutting the ring off. Not a lot of complications in this fight. After the fight, Fundora said that, hey, they asked him, listen, did you feel like it was going to be this easy? And he said, nah, I didn't think it was going to be this easy. Now, as far as Keith Thurman is concerned, a lot of people are saying, hey, is this it? Is he the official gatekeeper? Well, yes, boxing is trying to make Keith Thurman the gatekeeper. Now it's just up to, it's up to him at the end of the day. This was a hard task. Anybody that fights Fundora, it's just a different.
Thurman attempted to land a few body shots and relied on lateral and head movement along with some defensive activity, but he lacked a coherent offensive strategy. Fundora steadily pushed the pace, became more comfortable, and found precise timing as the rounds progressed, showcasing his superior skill and adaptability. Looking ahead, Fundora expressed his ambition to fight top contenders and even mentioned wanting to participate on an all-Mexican card with Canelo Alvarez in September. He also called out Virgil Ortiz, signaling that he is ready to challenge anyone and continue establishing himself as a dominant force in the division.
Keith was going into the strong hand of Fundora, and it was complicating me trying to figure out what he was trying to do. He really didn't have a game plan. He landed a few body shots and whatnot, but stayed on the outside really with the lateral movement a lot, not really active with the hands. Good head movement at times, but Fundora, it was just a matter of time until he kept pushing that pace and getting a little bit more comfortable and finding his timing. So now everyone's asking, wow, what's next? He says he wants to fight everybody, but in the same time, right, we did hear Fundora say that he would like to fight on that all-Mexican card with Canelo Alvarez in September. He wants to fight Virgil Ortiz. Now, there's lots of talks about June 27th against in New York City. Obviously, you've seen Xander Zayas. He signed.
Signed, sealed.
An analyst on YSM Sports Media praised Sebastian Fundora, calling him a unicorn and asserting that he could beat everyone at 154 pounds. He emphasized that no one in the division truly stands a chance against Fundora, as every fighter presents different challenges, but Fundora adapts exceptionally well to each style. On paper, Keith Thurman is one of the most accomplished fighters at 154, which made Fundora's victory even more impressive. The analyst highlighted the fallacy of relying on triangle theory, noting that although Fundora was previously stopped by Brian M.
And Fundora could beat everybody at 154, but I think it's a bunch of dudes that could definitely beat Fundora. Every fight's different, every style is different. And when you look on paper, Keith Thurman is probably the most accomplished fighter at the division outside of Jamal Charlo. So naturally, everybody is going to oh my God, Fundora, who can beat him? And triangle theory doesn't work because Fundora got stopped by Brian Mendoza. Brian Mendoza loses to Yoenis Telez. Yoenis Telez loses to Abbas Baru. Xander Zayas beats Abbas Baru. So So does that mean that Xander Zayas can beat Sebastian Fundora? We don't fucking know.
Alright everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Legacy Round and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.